This is the Underlane assignment on Reaper Forest Skull. So I'm running these quests in Unyielding Sentinel, and the main reason it gives me a bunch of hit points, gives me a bunch of defenses, and a bunch of self-healing, which I really need in these quests. The enemies hit really hard in Sharn, and this is not part of the Sharn expansion. It's part of the DDO free quests coupon code, but it is part of the Sharn series. And so after August 31st, even if I haven't purchased the Sharn expansion, I'll still have access to this pack. The enemies just hit really, really hard here. A lot of melees with high fortitude saves. So my dire charge is pretty spotty. You know, it works on some and not on others. And the biggest thing on Yielding Sentinel gives me is some big self-healing. For example, I'll show you here once I finish my true seeing buff. For some reason, it's not taking. Let me try one more time. There we go. Nope, it doesn't seem. For some reason, my true seeing buff does not seem to be taking.
You've reached the residential complex the Inquisitive told you about. Now to find the people responsible for the kidnappings.
And so it looks like Zertaf, who's one of the Viking characters in this quest, dual box. We have 3 playing characters, Chronivere, Shiley, myself. The other 2 are dual boxes of Chronivere and Shiley. And the wizard gave me true seeing, so I don't need to scroll it on myself.
Point you to your next destination, the gate in the central tower of Underlane.
And so the extra healing I'm getting is this renewal, which is like Rejuvenation Cocoon, like a healing over time benefit. The 2 of them combined is really good on Reaper, where there's a big healing and DPS penalty that we get as players. Light in the Dark is a good sort of like a mass heal. It's a mass lay on hands, which is good. It seems to have a bigger range than my other spells. And then Undying Vanguard is like a get out of jail free card.
Some of the locals look up as you approach.
All right, I'm going to start looking right away for crests. Whoop. Pretty heavy aggro there. From the get-go. Alright, so sometimes there's some crests behind these doors here. There's one, Crest of the Sword.
This area seems to be a part of the city's massive water purification system.
And so Shiley is in Unyielding Sentinel also.
Another group of ruffians singles you out and heads your way.
Pretty heavy damage from these guys. And he's also a first lifer, and so he is he's an off tank type character, so he's relying a lot on his sneak and does a really good job with that. He has assassinate, so he's using that, and he's using a lot of stealth type abilities to avoid being seen and avoid taking damage. All right, so we can still kind of hit Q and look for some possible crests. So we're looking for some crests here.
Frightened faces disappear from
There's a lot of
nearby
champions. Whoop, I better use my up. Too late. I was gonna say I should probably use my one of my quickies. There's a lot of champions there. And thank you. And I was just a little bit late. I realized that was a pretty dangerous situation, but I was just a little bit late in doing something about it. So in Zertath dying there was intentional to get him just to carry his soul stone to the end of the quest.
You enter the central tower of Underlane.
So there's a crest. Looks like it's in the last section. So this is not an optimal party makeup. Normally we have one caster, but for crowd control, let's see. I saw a crest. Let's see, but I think it was back over here. Sometimes the targeting in here can be a little bit strange because it's circular. So probably just assume that we're okay. That's the first lever. It's always in the same spot. Second lever.
Still more thugs block the passage out of the central tower area. They do love their bottlenecks.
So there's a crest of the kukri over here. Let's see. It looks like it's behind a wall. Might be behind this gate here.
The gate to this small dwarf community is bolted shut. You approach the entrance to a fortified tower. Could this be the old south place the guys were referring to? The door is sealed by 4 magical sockets, recently installed by the looks of them. Perhaps you can find their crests back in the Underlane neighborhood.
So we're trying to find one of each crest. We've each found one, and I saw one way at the beginning. So the one we're missing is Hammer, which I was able to target at one point. Kind of more back at the beginning, but that could be very misleading. Alright, so we have all the crests now, and now we're just going to go through to through the door.
As the fort door opens, you can hear frightened whispers ahead. So, you're the ones disrupting my operations. You don't look so tough. You open the gate, but the Warforged trapped inside don't seem to notice. You open the prison gate. Several Warforged murmur thanks as they bolt for the door, yet others just stand there, motionless. Torture equipment and strange machinery fills this room.
Let's see if anybody got anything interesting here. And for Reaper XP, that was 3,106. That puts me about 15,000 away from my next point. Uh, once I get my 10th point, then I'll be able to start putting more points to improve my dire charge, which is good. And that is the Underlane assignment on Reaper 4 Skull.